When you look at the Apple Pencil, you might be thinking, this is just an Apple Pencil, there's nothing to it. But there's so much more with the Apple Pencil. So coming right up are 10 plus Apple Pencil hacks you probably didn't know about. I mean, you paid like $100 to $150 for a pencil, you might as well get the most out of it, so let's get into it. Let me just preface that this is for the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, but it also works well with the 1st generation, but I'll be sure to mention which one works for which and doesn't. So if you are confused about what Apple Pencil do you have, this is just like a list of different ones. Let's get into the video and the hacks, but I should also mention that some of them you might know, some of them you might not know, so I made sure to timestamp everything so you can just like hop on into like what you like. Anyway, so the first hack is the Scribble feature. This one's pretty popular, but if you didn't know about it, basically you can turn your handwriting into text. So to do this, you first go into settings, make sure it's turned on. Then whenever there is a text insert, you can actually use your Apple Pencil to write it down. It's super efficient if you're just too lazy to like pull out the keyboard and start typing on your iPad. So further tips within this include, if you want to delete a word, you just scribble over it. If you want to select a word, you just circle it. And if you want to join two words together, put a line where the space is. And if you want to split up two words, you put a line down it again. The next one is for the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, but this one is double tapping the smooth edge of the Apple Pencil. And this you can use to erase. But if you also didn't know this, you can change it to switch to the last tool or show the color palette. So you can change this in settings. And it's just really helpful if you just want to double tap something to quickly do it. And similar to the last one, if you're just too lazy to double tap on the edge, because honestly, like sometimes it doesn't work the best, you can use 3 fingers to swipe, and this will undo your last stroke. But if you want to redo it, you can do 3 fingers the other way. This works on all the note-taking apps. I've tested it on Apple Notes, GoodNotes, Notability, everything. So it's just like a text feature if you didn't know that. Okay, so next up is swiping from the corner to either screenshot or take a quick note. So to do this, you can go into your settings and then you can change your preferences here too. For example, if I swipe from the bottom left, I can get a screenshot. And a further hack within this is if you're on a website that's pretty long and you want to screenshot it, you can go screenshot the entire full page. However, it'll save as a PDF to your files if you're okay with that. It can be a hassle, I know this, to like screenshot with the buttons, and you gotta like hold it in a weird way. Oh my god, too much work. So this is just like a much simpler way to screenshot and do it quickly. And if you swipe up from the other corner, it'll take a note and just make a quick jot down of like a website or anything you want, like a random idea, instead of like searching for the notes. And now you can also change around what you want. So if, for example, if you want screenshot on the other side or like notes on the other side, you can do that all in settings. And I mean, speaking of learning these new tips, I am so excited to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can take thousands of classes about art, design, studying, everything. And if you also didn't know, I recently released my Skillshare digital note-taking class on your iPad. It literally covers everything about studying and note-taking on the iPad, so it'll definitely help you level up your iPad game. But there are also thousands of other classes. For example, my favorite all-time class is How to Study for Exams by Ali Abdaal. It teaches you everything you need to know about studying and active learning. Anyway, so the first 1,000 subscribers to click the sign up link will get 1 month of Skillshare for free. So exciting. So let's get back into the video. Next is tapping the home screen to create a quick note. Let's say you're on the go and you just have a random idea. You just quickly tap your Apple Pencil to the front screen and it'll create a note. Do this by going into settings, but this time you go to notes instead of like the Apple Pencil settings, and then you can select it to resume from your last note or create a new note every time you do it. And it's just really efficient and just quick. If you're having a eureka moment and you're like, I need to go write down some notes, you can just do that quickly with your Apple Pencil. Next is having the battery widget. If you know, when you put your pencil down to charge it or like store it away, you'll see the little percentage. But if you're like, you don't really want to, you're using it and you want to see what it's at, you can actually have a little widget You do this by like jiggling the home screen and then searching down for the battery widget, and then it'll show you like what percentage it's at. And this is especially useful if you have a first generation Apple Pencil where it's like kind of annoying to like slide it in and out. You can just see it like quickly. Next is replacing the Apple Pencil tip. You might have known this, but you can actually unscrew the tip of your pencil. It's not like a design flaw within it. It unscrews normally. Basically, you can use this to replace the tips, like with friction, normal wear and tear. Your tips will most likely eventually, probably maybe, wear down. And Apple sells like replacement tips so you can like get new fresh tips and have a nicer writing experience. Next is accessorizing your Apple Pencil. Now the Apple Pencil is just like a white stick of metal. It's kind of boring. You can actually add grips to it. I have like a few different ones and it just makes the writing experience nicer. They also have like vinyl stickers. I haven't tried those, or like colored tips to make your Apple Pencil all fancy. So if you're into that, you should definitely check it out. Next is using your Apple Pencil on your MacBook. Now you might sound skeptical, like you can't really do that. But there's like a little hack in between. If you have a MacBook and iPad, you can sidecar your iPad. And it's really simple to do. You go into displays and then you connect it to your iPad and it'll magically create like this extra long screen. And basically if you are into like Photoshop and you want to draw something, you can do that. If you want to sign a document like on your MacBook, but like you need your pencil. Kind of like if you've ever heard of a Wacom stylus where like you can draw it, but instead it's now on your iPad. Anyways, so next is using the pressure sensitivity. You might not have known this, but when you add pressure to the Apple Pencil, it creates a thicker stroke. And when you put less pressure, it creates a thinner stroke. And you can use this to do calligraphy, of course, but you can also do this to make textured handwriting and mimic the feel of a normal pen. And lastly is like a little hack specific to GoodNotes. I know many of you guys use the app GoodNotes for taking notes. So if you are like, let's say left-handed, or you write in a different way, you can change your positioning so it's more suited to the pressure sensitivity and hand palm rejection so you can get the best note-taking experience. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something about the Apple Pencil, and see you guys later. Bye!